What's up, guys? What is up? What's up? What's up? So, I'm at this conservation area here in Kansas City. We're gonna put up the drone. What I got is some filters that were sent to me, and they're a UV filter, a CPL, and then there's an 8, 16, 32, and 64. Gonna put them up, gonna test them out, and kind of see what they look like, and if they're any good, if I'd recommend them, and that sort of thing. So, that's what's up. This used to be a pond. Now for some reason, the waters went way down. So it's just kind of a conservation area because they didn't want to spend $1 million to rehab it. So that's kind of what's up with that. But anyways, let's get the drone up and see what they look like. Hey, what's up, people? What is up? So the first one is a UV filter. I tried to fly all these in a similar pattern. I'm not a big fan of a UV filter, to be quite honest. Normally, I think they're a waste of money. But it came with the set, so I wanted to try it out. And it's not that bad. I was expecting it to be pointless, but it actually is better than flying without one. And, you know, the UV filter on it is not just a piece of glass to take up space to try and convince people that you're protecting your lens like they normally are. So the UV filter, would I use it? I could see a place for using it. It wouldn't be my first lens I would use. I mean, my first filter that I would use, but it was better than I expected it to be. I'll tell you that. Okay, this is probably my favorite filter. Anyways, I use these on my cameras. I use these on drones. I use the circular polarizing filter more than any other filter. The only filter that's even close would be the graduated ND filter, but I use the circular polarizing filter the most of all of them. So this is, of course, probably my favorite of the group. I think this is if I had to just take one and put on the drone and leave it on there. In fact, it sets on the drone most of the time. Very rarely do I use any of these other ones. I just like the look that circular polarizing filters give. So that is my favorite of the group. I like the look, and so that's kind of what I wanted to say with that. Okay, so now we're getting into the ND filters. This is the ND8. This is, of course, the lightest of them. This is the brightest of them, and it works pretty well. I like the CPL, but if I needed to use a neutral density filter, this would be the one I would probably use. The other ones just make it too dark. Now, all of this was shot in auto, so the shutter speed is rolling with the filter. So if it was just shot in manual with the same settings, it would obviously look different. I made it easy because most people that are going to be flying a Mavic Mini are going to be shooting in auto. They're more concerned with composition and just having fun than they are getting their triangle right. So it worked really well. This is probably the best of the neutral density filters. Okay, so now you can start to see the grain coming in. You can start to see because the ISO is cranked on such a small sensor, which is due to the fact of that you're shooting it with an ND filter that's several stops down. So that is one thing that you have to factor in, is the noise that you're going to introduce based on the ISO from using an ND filter. Now, if this was shot earlier in the day, wouldn't have that problem. But you know, you want to get the best natural light so you don't have to do a lot of manipulation. And that's what filters really do, is they manipulate light so you can get longer shutter speeds and things like that. This is just pretty much overkill, and it's going to be overkill from here on out. So that's just that. But I wanted to show you what it looked like. So here we are with the next one, which is the ND32, which is, of course, a stop up. And so that's kind of what we're looking. This is dissimilar. Is it usable? Yes. Is it grainy? Yes. I wouldn't use it in this scenario, but it is usable. And for if you need it, use it. This would be one of the filters that would be better for the earlier in the day with more light coming in. But I wanted to test them out and show you side by side, and that's kind of what I did with this. And it does work, but it wouldn't be the first option out there to use. So I hope that helps you with that one. Okay, so now we're at the last one. This one, the drone even had trouble reading it, said it was too dark of an environment to fly because of the ND filter. I went ahead and cooked it up anyways and just was careful. But this would not be one that you would use very often. This would be probably your least used of the set. There's just no need for an ND64 in most cases. I mean, you're shutting down, I think it's like 6 stops at that point. And with that small of a sensor to catch the light at the T-stop, there's just no need for an ND64 filter in, like I said, most cases. But it is good to have if you get an extremely bright situation where you need it. I guess it's good to have in the case, but it wouldn't be something you... I just got done flying, and I took all of them up. I did one filter at a time, and as you just saw in the video, it'll be edited. So kind of what's my thoughts? Some of them are good. that 64 is gonna be this didn't work, I don't think. I think it was too dark. In fact, the drone was telling me not to fly because it was too dark, but I don't listen well, so I did it anyways. Obviously, the circular polarizing filter is my favorite. I love circular polarizing filters. UV was even good. I was really surprised with the UV filters because they're typically not that good. So the 8 and the 16 and even the 32 work in this type of environment. 64 really didn't, but I made it work. So they're great filters. They're like $50. They're great filters. Grab them on Amazon. You can get them anywhere. I think you can get them from the company's website if you want. So that's kind of what I found. Not bad. And I'm not just saying that he's saying that. I'm like, these are pretty good filters for a Mavic Mini. So check them out.